Now that we've gone through the relationships between two equations when they are given as a pair of linear equation in two variables, we are going to recall what we've done in the previous class. If there is exactly one solution, that means the graph looks like this. The lines are consistent but independent, and they are called intersecting lines. Notice example 3 over here. There's a purple line and there is a red line. So there are two lines, but they are consistent, dependent, and they have infinite solution. When the lines are parallel, they are inconsistent with no solution. We are going to go a bit deeper on this when we will take few examples and see how do these relationships work when we plot them on a graph. So let us see a pair of linear equation given here, as you've done in the previous class as well. Previous class means in your grade 9, that if you have to plot a linear equation on a graph, you take three values. These are any three random values. Means I took y as 0, so this becomes 0, so it becomes 2x equal to 16, x becomes 8. So I give any input to y and put that value for y. Whatever value is solved becomes the value of x. Similarly, find three values for the second equation. Take a graph sheet, plot the first equation, that is this, write down the coordinates, and plot the second equation, write down the coordinates. If your lines meet at a point, but they have their own respective paths, that case, there are certain things that you have to write as conclusion on the graph. First thing that you need to write is the solution. Wherever the lines meet that particular point, abscissa, comma, ordinate, is the solution of the graph. Even if you've not plotted that particular point, so in this particular case, we had taken that point in our tables, but let us say it wasn't taken. Let's say I did not take 3 minus 2 and 3 minus 2 here. In that case, you will go to this particular point, go vertically towards the x-axis. You notice it's a 3 here, so abscissa becomes 3. Then from here, go horizontally towards the y-axis. You see the ordinate is minus 2 here, so ordinate becomes minus 2, hence the solution becomes 3 comma minus 2. Next thing that you need to write down on the graph is conclusion. The conclusion to the graph is, number 1, it's intersecting. Number 2, it is consistent. Number 3, these are independent lines. So 4 important things come in the final answer to the graphical solution of any pair of linear equation. Number 1, the solution on the graph, and then conclusion as whether they are intersecting, parallel or coincident, whether they are consistent or inconsistent, whether they are dependent, independent or parallel lines. In this case, they are independent lines. Let's look at another example. So step 1 is, of course, getting 3 and 3 values respectively for the two equations. Plot them. If you see that the lines are running parallel to each other, then they are not meeting each other. So when I talk about solution, absolutely no. There's no solution. And for the conclusion, number 1, they are parallel. Number 2, they are inconsistent lines. Let's take another example. So again, 3 values and 3 values here. And we observe here that the 3 pair of values that we have in both the tables is exactly the same. 3 by 3 and 5, 1, 0, minus 1, comma, minus 5. Exactly the 3 same sets here. So when we plot these points, we technically see only one line, but actually there are 3. I'm again going to reiterate here. It is important that the axis is marked as x, x dash, y, y dash. It is important that whatever points you are plotting, they are written as abscissa, comma, ordinate on the graph. It is very, very important to write down the coordinates of the point on the graph. And of course, how many solutions here? Since every point on the line So we have infinite solutions. And the conclusion will be coincident lines, consistent lines, and dependent lines. This particular question is an application only for intersecting lines. All right. Now, please understand a line can be terminated into a line segment. So, we will plot this line after taking three solutions, this line after taking three solutions, something like this. The lines will be intersecting. The lines segmented into portions, both the lines, along with the axis mentioned in the question, will form a polygon. Now, if there are three line segments, then it will form a triangle. A triangle, as we know, has three vertices. Now, if I look at this figure, if I look at how many triangles are being made here, or then I have triangle number 1 here, I have triangle number 2 here, this one, triangle number 3 here, right? And triangle number 4 over here. Okay. So now we'll discuss that if there are four triangles that are emerging on this particular graph, which one should I shade? First point to remember here is highlight the solution of the intersecting lines. That becomes one of the vertex. So you have to basically identify the three vertices of the triangle and then shade the appropriate triangle according to the question. So over here, Q, that is 3 comma 2, is the solution of the pair of linear equations. That becomes the first vertex, vertex number 1, right? Now, the second vertex will come from this line and the y-axis, the intersection of this line and the y-axis. This line is here, y-axis is here, the intersection point is here, which is u 0 comma minus 1. So this becomes the second vertex of the triangle. Third vertex will come from this line and y-axis. That means intersection of this line and y-axis. This line is here on the graph, y-axis is here, and the vertex is here. This is the intersection point. So T becomes the third vertex. Now we have three vertices of the triangle, T, Q, U, and we shade this triangle. So this becomes the shaded area that was asked for. In addition to this, if we are asked about finding the area or calculating the area of the triangle too, then we always take the axis portion as the base and we count how much would that be, right? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Sorry, it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. So 12 units is the base. Why have I taken 12 units as a base? Because 1 unit is equal to 2 over here. So I have to count accordingly. And this is the height of the triangle. That means from the vertex of the triangle. And what is the vertex? The vertex of the triangle. It is always the solution of the given pair of linear equations. And we make a perpendicular on the base. So basically, it will be the abscissa of this particular point. So 3 becomes the height of the triangle. So knowing the base and the height, we can do half into base into height. Let's take one more example. So we are given two equations. We plot them. The first vertex will be the intersection of the two lines. The second vertex will be the first line and the axis. In this case, it is x-axis. So I take the first line, which is this, the x-axis. This becomes the second vertex, the intersection. The third vertex will come from the intersection of this line and the x-axis. So we take this line and the x-axis, the intersection. So once we